So that was the first time he dropped that. Then later, after the report, or sometime around that time, after I sent them the report, Danny again dropped, like we got on call again or had to discuss or something. And he said something similar again. I didn't know what he meant, but if he said it twice, then there's good reason. So I made sure to bring that up when we met again. I planned, so after I sent them the report, there was no response. 4 5 days later, I planned, I scheduled a meeting to review the action items based on the problems discussed in the report. So, like, there are 3 major problems. Project management, we lack. There's a lot of miscommunication. There's no coordination. We don't know what we're doing half the time. And there's a lack of leadership in product. So we don't know what we're supposed to build. We don't know where we're going. We have no idea what we're doing. And on the technical side, this is slowly starting to pop up, but we do lack some, seniority or technical guidance. So development processes, documentation, those things across the teams aren't great. It's not a major problem. It's still like minor, but it will become major. That's what I told them. And so Danny interrupted and he said, okay, fine, cool. If I understand this clearly, you need leadership in product and you need leadership on the engineering side, right? And I said, yeah, cool. That's kind of what I was getting at. And he said, yeah, so on the product side, we're looking at a UX designer. We're looking on that front and we're trying to get him on board. So we should be getting a lot more requirements so that the product, the app that we're building, looks more polished. And on the engineering side, we do need someone to lead. So Guru, would you be ready to take that role? He just pulled out that Uno card, the reverse card from nowhere. And I wasn't expecting that. And immediately I was just like, okay, fine. Yeah, cool. I don't think I'm senior enough to, lead the engineering team. I think it would be better if you have a senior. But, if it's just to like pitch in until you find a senior, then yeah, sure, I can do that. I told him. And he said, thought about it for a second. I was like, no, I think we don't need seniority over here. We're not looking for technical expertise. We need someone who can lead the team, fix their problems, understand their problems, essentially enable them to tackle those problems that they can't do themselves.
All right.
So, do you think you can do that? And I'm like, okay, cool, sure. He wanted me to say yes, and the master wants you to say yes. You say yes. So I said yes.
Lovely. It's beautiful.
And this did that. Yeah. And immediately after that, he swoops in with another question. He's like, okay, so that's great. If I understand that correctly, you're ready to take this question. I said, yes. And he's like, okay, so what about your short-term goals? Like, do you have, how can we meet your short-term goals? I had an idea of what he was talking about. I didn't want to be wrong about what he's talking about. So when I just came in and he's like, no, like, I know you've been asking for a salary hike for some time. So we're just talking about salary. Like, what do you want? What are you looking at? What are your expectations? I wasn't prepared. Now, what is this? You're putting in this as well as that. And I just laughed it off. I'm like, yeah, I wasn't sure if you guys were talking about that. Ha ha ha. So what do my roles and responsibilities look like? Because I don't want to speak about it. So slightly diverted away from that question. Quickly wrapped up the call and said, oh yeah, I guess you guys might have a couple of things to discuss. So I'll drop off. This was on Thursday last week. Last week? Yeah, last week. So that's when they said, okay, fine, you'll probably be engineering manager and everything. And Monday this week, I sent another email saying, can we discuss, this salary bit? I talked to a lot of people. I said, okay, fine, cool, we'll do all this. To figure out what I should be getting for my salary. And initially, before I talk to them, I'm like, 100% I'll ask.
Fair ask. Yeah, I mean, nothing to lose. Fair ask.
Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, fine, cool. No, it's 100% unrealistic, but still I'll ask 70%. Okay. It
Right.
2 years plus one promotion. So 2020. Roughly it is 50 to 70 I'll ask. In my head, it was fair. I think it is fair. But there was also but in my head, I'd already decided, saying, I'll take up the role. Normally, you don't get an engineering manager role with 2 years of work ex. You usually get it around 5 or 6. So I was like, the role, I'm already pretty high